Okay, Keith, what makes a good commercial?
Well, certainly at its basic element, a good commercial is, a message that is well received by the audience, that interests them, and that makes them want your product or service.
Yeah, that would certainly qualify as a good commercial. I would add to that something that makes people understand your message and want your product or service would be a creative or messaging through line. So something, especially if you're looking at a campaign or creating a couple commercials, but even just in the case of one commercial, something that you want to make sure that your message actually flows through. So we talk about what is the structure of a commercial, that you have a setup, you have this many people in this sort of room, then you have kind of what we would call like a ramp up and a close to the ad. That's something that I look for and that we certainly take really seriously when we're scripting and putting together what are these commercials going to be, is what is the through line of this piece. And it's usually in the message and in the creative.
Right, and then also something that's really consistent with the other pieces that they're doing. Yeah. You can have a commercial that might sell something, but it might honestly not be genuine to what your product or service is, or it might be so disjointed from all of your other messaging that it almost confuses people. And so I would add that in, that it needs to be consistent with your other messaging, and then it needs to be really honest to what it is that you're trying to sell.
And I guess to kind of pull it out of the clouds a little bit, what I mean when I say a through line, whether it's creative or messaging, is something that's the same. So certainly something that's the same in your brand, but we're talking about they all have the same camera move as the reveal of your product, or they all have that same ramp up and close, or they all follow the same formula where there's always two people, then a product, then this. And it doesn't have to be a perfect recipe, but we're making all pies, or we're making all pastries, or we're making all, so it's a very similar recipe that feels the same, so people go, oh, this is a commercial for so-and-so when they see it. And that is very important when it's a campaign, but it's equally important when it's just one piece.